Hello and welcome to Learn with Indrjeet. This is another video in the series of videos titled Building a To-Do Management System Application in .NET 8. In this series of videos, we are building together a very simple to-do management application to learn various programming concepts. Please note that this is not a production ready application and is for learning purposes only. In the previous video, we learned how to implement change password functionality in the web API project. If you haven't watched that video, please go ahead and watch that too. In this video, we are going to learn how to implement change password functionality in the web app project, which is our Razor Pages web application in .NET 8. It is going to be very informative, so watch it till end, and if you find this video useful, give it a thumbs up. I'm very excited to dive in, but before that, I would like to thank all the viewers that have subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. If you are new to this channel and haven't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the latest content. So, let's get started. So here in Visual Studio, let's go to the web app project, and in the pages account section, let's copy and paste this sign in page to change it into a change password page, like so. Let me just copy this name and let's do changes to this CS HTML and CS file according to our needs. So first the CS file, let's change the model, and then okay, looks good. Let's change this login DTO to password, change password DTO, and this guy like so. Let's remove this on get. This is the by default function, so if it is not there, it will work fine. Now in the change password.cshtml file, let's change the model. Again, change password with a space. We are not going to use the sign up layout, so removing that. And we'll need this card, but not the register box, this div. So let's get rid of this, and here let's start writing some HTML. So let's have a div which is content. Okay, let's change it to a section as per admin LTE. Then a div with class container fluid, then a row like so, and then the column. So we are going to have cool MD6 maybe, sorry, like that. And on a large screen, it should be 6 columns, and on a small screen 6 columns. Let's on a small screen, let it be 12 columns, and let's offset on the large screen to 3 and offset on the medium size screen to 3. That means it will be 6 columns in width total, and it will be adjusted 3 columns from left, so it will be centered, right? We'll see that once we are on the front page. Okay, now I want this card to be inside of that div. Let's remove these not required comments and link, and now let's change it. So inside of this card, we want only the card, and in the card header we want to display change password like so. we don't need this paragraph. Let's go to the form, and instead of login DTO, now we have change password DTO. So the first thing that we want from the user is the current password, like that, and the current password here inside of this placeholder. Okay, and this is okay. So let's remove this div and use the password div that is already having the things that we need. Okay, so current password and current password here, and then current password here. Okay, so I see current password. Other thing that we required from the user is one is for the new password. So let's duplicate that, and in this selected text I want to replace current word with new. Okay, so this goes for the new password, and again let's duplicate it once again, and this time replace the new word with confirm in the selection. Yes, so let's review it. So this is the new password, placeholder is correctly showing. Let's put in a space over here. So new password, toggle this that's fine. Validation, then for confirm password we have the toggle this functionality, and I think it is fine. So let's save that, and we are already having the password requirements, but this time we want to implement the password requirements on the change password DTO, current password, and the new password. Okay, right, so that pop-up that displays password requirements will be shown on current password and new password text boxes, and the toggle text is fine. Okay, so let's save that. The CSHTML is fine. Now let's move to the CS file and handle on post. Okay, so we just we don't want to have sign in over here. Let's say change password. Fine. Okay, so on post, let's check if the new password, sorry, if the change password DTO dot new password that is entered by the user is exactly equal to change password DTO dot current password. If that is the case, we want to add a validation, model validation error, right? So we'll go to model state dot add model error, and it wants a key and a value. So let's put in the into the key password is password in use maybe, and here in the description let's put in current, new, and current passwords cannot be same. Okay, So we are preventing the user to like repeat the password. Now model state validity is already being checked here. This is fine. We don't need the token VM, and instead of signing in, we want to change the password, which is not there. This function, the change password function, is not there in the auth service, so we'll create that. That's fine. We'll pass in the change password DTO. So let's go ahead and implement this in the auth service. So let's go to the iauth service first and duplicate this. Say this is change password. It will accept a change password DTO. Will return the API response. Let's name it model DTO. That's fine. Let's go to the implementation and in the web app, yes, and duplicate this guy. And we'll change the name to change password. The DTO will be change password DTO, and we are going to call the change password endpoint on the auth controller. Okay, so the controller name is auth. This is our auth controller, and we have the change password here, this one. Okay, the only difference is the change password endpoint is a secure endpoint, so the user has to be logged in to the system before using this change password endpoint from the service, and this will be done inside of the HTTP client service. So we'll do that. So when we'll hit the change password endpoint in the API, before hitting that, we want a request header, the authentication header with bearer token. Okay, so we'll implement that in the HTTP client service, but let's first finish the CS file. So we are setting a default message. If the API response is not null, then we are, and the status code is 200. Okay, let's not do anything of this type here. So we'll set the message, just the message, that's it, and we'll say API response.title, and we'll show the description, because in the description, when the web API returns okay, it says password changed successfully in the description. See, the third parameter is description. So this will contain password changed successfully, and that is what we want to show to the user in that toast notification. So let me just copy the toast notification, and will be a success. Okay, so if it is 200, okay, we are saying that okay, the password has been changed successfully. Otherwise we want to handle the 401 unauthorized. So let me copy this one and put in a else if. So else if the API response is 401 unauthorized, in that case also the description will contain a particular relative message. Okay, and that will be a warning. And in that case, we'll return the user to account/login. No, account/sign-in, this page. Okay, and if there is an error, we will show the user the title and the message, and we'll show that in error toast message and return to index page. in any case we are returning the page back. Okay, fine. And now not let's remove these not used functions. Fine, build the application once. So our CSHTML and the CS part is okay according to this. Let's run the application and see how it looks like on the front end. We have a warning. This one is coming from a old thing. This is coming from a old video when we were implementing authentication. So let's remove this too. Okay, and let's start. Okay, so let me sign in to access the change password. So just user3@gmail.com and the password is abcd #123. If I have, yes, typed it correct. So here we are with the change password endpoint. Okay, so this is how our front end page looks like. And let me just put in the old password. So it will be abcd #123. The new password will be abcd #124 and abcd #125. See, the validation is working fine. So let me change it to 4 and the I is looking good. Okay, so as soon as we click change password, this function, the onPost function, will run and it will check the current password and new password match. We can do that on the front end through the JavaScript also. Here we'll do that. Okay, then it checks for the model state and then it tries to hit the web API change password endpoint here. Okay, and as of now, because we are not authorized, we are not sending the authentication header in the request, we will not be able to reach this endpoint. Okay, let me just show you that. Okay, so save, and do we have a, and let's put in a debug point here. And before going to check the change password, let's change this flag to true. This is a value for the add auth header flag for this function. So let me show you that. So if this add auth header the flag is false, we send the request without adding anything, any authentication header to the request. If this is true, we use this function add auth header, which is currently not implemented. Let's implement it to add a authentication header to the request. Okay, so let me stop the application and implement here. So get the JWT token from cookie, and the name of that cookie is token cookie name. Okay, from this cookie. Okay, this one, right? And we get this name from this property in the cookie settings class. So this is the cookie name. Fine. And then set auth header to the request, right? So to access this cookie, we'll need HTTP context accessor. So let's inject that. So private read only IHTTP context accessor. Let's name it as suggested by the IntelliSense with an underscore, and let's add parameters to the constructor, and okay, and let's use options pattern to initialize cookie settings. So private read only cookie settings, and let's name it with an underscore, add params, and instead of simply having this cookie settings, we want to have I options of type cookie settings, and then we'll use the value of this class. Could not be found using the extension options. Okay, fine. Now we'll have the names of all the settings and the values in the cookie settings, right? So first let's get the cookie where access token is equal to underscore http context accessor dot http context dot request cookies with the name cookie settings dot token cookie name. So we don't want to hard code the token cookie name here, we are getting it from the cookie settings. Now once we have this access token, let's put it in the request header. So http client dot default request headers dot authorization is equal to new system net http headers authentication header value, and it will take the scheme and the parameter. Okay, so the scheme is bearer and the value would be in the access token, like so. Let me just remove this guy and add a using over here, using on the top, right? Now the next thing is we want to return true, but for that we'll have to add async over here. Okay, so see, as of now we are just getting the access token from the cookie and adding it to the request header, but this is not the case as it should be, because the access token that we are trying to get from the cookie might be null, it might expire. So we'll implement a functionality over here to implement all those checks. We'll have the refresh token. If the access token is expired, we'll get the refreshed token from the API endpoint that we created here, refresh JWT token. So we'll be doing that, but just to check this functionality, let me start the application and test the change password functionality. Okay, so once again let's sign out and sign in with test user3 at gmail.com with abcd hash 123, sign in. Okay, and let's go ahead and change the password. Okay, so abcd hash 123, abcd hash 124, we are only changing the last digit, abcd hash 124, that's fine. Hit change password. Okay, so it comes here. Let me remove this endpoint, we have already checked that. Now it will go to the service, then to the post function, and because the auth header value is true, it will go to the add auth header. Where is that? Here. And now it will try to get the access token. So here is the access token. Yes, we'll add authorization header as bearer space token and will return true. Fine. And now we are going to post the response. Post response function will actually post it to the controller. And if we have this, no, it says 401. Let's see. JSON token is not there. So let's go back and try once again. So let me just remove all the debug points. Okay. And sign out. Once again, test user3@gmail.com. Okay, sign in and then change password. ABCD #123, ABCD #124, ABCD #124, and let's put only one here, right? So change password. Here it is. And if we continue, see, it says the password changed successfully. Okay. Now if we sign out and try signing in with the old password, we should not be able to do that. So test user3@gmail.com, ABCD #123. See, sign in. It should show us an error. That's fine. And if we sign with the new password #124, this one, and we are able to sign in, right? Okay. So now we have implemented the change password functionality in the front-end application. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this video helpful and learned something, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button below. Your support means a lot to me. This encourages me to invest more time and create more valuable content for you. Remember to click the notification bell so you never miss an update on future videos. In the comment section below, please let me know what you learned from today's video. What was your favorite part? If you have any questions on today's topic or suggestions for future videos, feel free to drop them in the comments. I read and respond to as many comments as I can. To watch more videos on the same topic, check out the playlist or visit the channel. Thank you so much for your time. Keep learning.